Welcome to another episode of Ballas Union. We got CP handling all duties as a guard. We already know this.
I'm not passing to nobody.
There you go. There you go. We got Smash. You know what I'm saying? Holding down the paint.
I get more playing time now that J. Cole out.
GeauxDee came back from his tour.
Hey man, I'm glad to be here, man. This is gonna be a doozy right here. Let's get this thing started.
Yep, and you already know me. It's GeauxDee. So let's start off. Let's not get right into business. Let's go with how's everybody's week been?
My week was good, man. I come off a birthday weekend, 4-day holiday. I've been trying to, watch this boy's figure a little bit, and I just totally blew it out the water. Had me one of the biggest steaks America ever could produce. But it was a good weekend for me, man. I enjoyed it. Good family time, good fun.
You made 65 look good, bro.
Man, whatever. If 65 look like this, then shit, I don't mind being 65.
All right, GeauxDee Isaac.
Vampire blood.
Shoot.
Yep. Smash. How was your past week and past week? I mean, past weekend and past week.
Oh man, every day's Saturday, so it's good over here. You know what I'm saying? Long as I ain't in no traffic, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper, boy. You put me in some traffic, then we got another subject to talk about.
Start road raging.
CP.
It was good, man. The wife's birthday was this weekend, so we did some family time and good celebrating. Everybody had a good time.
Okay.
So,
all right, Gemini season. All right.
Yeah, crazy.
Hey,
both sides.
Yep.
Crazy is crazy. It's either two sides, bro. Either we like you or we don't. That's all it is.
But it's 2 on each side, so it's about 4.
When's our birthday?
The 30th, May 30th.
Oh, okay, so all right, I'm the 27th.
That's my sister's birthday. So that's why my sister.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so that's why she crazy too. All y'all got issues.
That's crazy. But yep. So I had a good weekend. I flew home, bought some stuff for the new house. My aunt came down. She's also a Gemini, and my mom's a Gemini.
My mom too.
Gemini season. So we outnumbering y'all. Keep it up. Keep talking. We outnumbering y'all.
It's twice to 4 times as many of y'all. Y'all like good guys.
Jill, you was at the beach, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was at the beach with the family. You know what I'm saying? The kids enjoyed themselves. I hate the sun. Sand gets everywhere. But the kids have fun. That's all that matters.
I love the beach.
Yeah. Let's get right into business. We're going to start off with Stephen A versus Kwame Brown. Stephen A came back with his rebuttal, and he came out with a low light reel of Kwame Brown. And again, he said it wasn't personal, it was business. But what he needs to understand that Kwame Brown took all that stuff he said and still saying personal. You can't tell a person how you make them feel. You know what I'm saying? You have to acknowledge it and do better. And for Stephen A to be, he's supposed to be a pillar of that community. He's always, saying representing for the HBCUs and doing fundraisers for that and say he's for the blacks and he's saying he's for this and that. But like when you had the opportunity to show yourself and actually, acknowledge your mistake, like, hey, I didn't mean nothing personal by it. I was just talking about I had high expectations for you. I put you on a high standard. And you didn't live up to my expectation. That's because I thought so highly of you. He could have came in it that way, but instead, he just doubled down and just tore down a black man for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Dang,
that's a mouthful.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, you stated some points there.
That's a lot to unpack there, Gio.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm on the side with Kwame. It's to a point where, how the saying go, you can back a cat in the corner, and then eventually he or she gonna come out swinging. And that's just where Kwame is at with this thing, man. He's listened to the critics and listened to everybody talk for 20 plus years, and so now when he comes back, You know, he's turning over some opening some doors and pulling out some skeletons that they, you know, otherwise, a la Charlemagne the God, that they don't want nobody to know about. You know, so you know, you cast the first stone, make sure your house is clean.
Right.
Yeah, I love it. I love Kwame coming out like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it from Stephen A. perspective. Like, you are reporting as a reporter on him, but I mean, like, I can't say the guy was a bust if he was around for 12 seasons, no matter what his stats was.
Right.
He was around for 12 seasons. You can't say that's a bust. A bust is what's the Ryan Leaf? You know what I mean? That's a bust. You know, he came in the league and went out 12 seasons. Come on,
I'll tell
man.
you who's I could tell you who's a bust. The dude didn't qualify for the men's 3-on-3 basketball for the Olympics. That's a bust.
You just not letting that go.
Hey, make sure the stat sheet quote me on that alley hoop.
He would not let that go. That's been his topic of conversation for like the last 3 days. The big three can't put player pros in the league. Come on, man. The Olympics, we have a problem, Ice Cube.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't try. I don't know. They didn't get the invitation for tryouts. Well, see, hey, get back on topic. CP, what's your thoughts on the Kwame versus Stephen A?
I'm somewhat contrarian to it, and I'm happily sticking to my guns. While I do think the Kwame stuff is interesting, it's entertaining, and he's not wrong on a lot of stuff.
Right.
You can tell in his tone and his approach that it's a place of hurt. Now, maybe he is backed into a corner and has had enough, kind of like that nerd that gets pushed around too much, and then finally he go ham and get everybody. But when you think about that, and this is extreme, when you think about that nerd, it's not like he just, you know, it's one thing if he just beats up the bully finally, but if he starts going at the whole school, or worse, carries some type of weapon to school and starts spraying everybody or getting everybody, then he's out of control. And I wonder if what he's doing, while it's entertaining and it's fun, and he's getting people that need to get got anyway, I don't know if he is in the healthiest of places to do it. You can tell in his tone that he's kind of unleashed. So while I'm not mad at him for going at these people, like I definitely don't have any argument about, you know, him defending himself, calling people out for the stuff that they've been calling him out at. I do think just with even in his tone, the way he fires back and every other word is cussing you out and calling you out your name, you can tell that it's a lot of anger and rage that he's coming out with. And I don't think it's as calculated as we all want it to be or need it to be to continue to be entertained.
Yeah, I just think it was more, it's a lot of what you're saying, but then it's also a lot of now everybody wants their platform. And now this is a way for him to get his platform because now he's a mainstay now. Yeah. Like there's no turning Kwame Brown off at this point. He's just like everybody else that you put a hot mic in front, they got an opinion to say. And he had Judge Joe Brown on, he could be very out there. Right. So he's crafting his platform. So that was just his entry into the media. So I think it's a little bit calculated, but I also think it, like you said, it's a little bit of hurt feelings that he just had to get some stuff off his chest.
Right. And I guess I'm kind of holding off to see where it goes because if I'm fearful that he's going to have to start grasping for things to keep that relevance. The internet moves at a speed that nobody can keep up with, especially not a 40-year-old.
Not that Twitter. Can't keep up that Twitter.
Right. Or what is he, 40, 38, 30? He's something.
39.
If he can.
39.
So it's past his generation. So if he's not prepared to keep up or he don't have a team behind him keeping him up, you wonder how much of this is going to be, him still coming at people or him still angry, or is it going to morph into him building his brand? I mean, after all, his YouTube series is called Bust Life.
Right. right.
I mean,
if I made if I made multi-million dollars over the course of 12 years, call me a bust anytime, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, he had the last laugh. I mean, you can't take it away from him. You know, he spent his money wisely. He still got money, unlike some folks. So he's doing something right. You know
but
what I'm saying?
Is he gonna walk off into the sunset with that?
No, I think
that last laugh.
I think he's here to stay. I like I said, I think it's a calculated risk for. I think it was a calculated plan for him to enter the space. And this was just the way for him to do it. I think that was the launching pad for him to do it. You know.
Right.
Oh, there was a Stephen A. point to that, and I don't know why we give Stephen A. so much credit. I mean, he's good for what he is in a small window and vacuum, and he stays coloring outside of those lines. And I think we just sometimes he does too much, and this is just a classic example. But in the years that I've either seen him on TV or listened to him or whatever, I've never, ever heard him walk anything back or apologize. His stand is to double down all the time.
Right.
Even once he became the mainstay, you know, because when everybody liked Stephen A., he was the backup to Skip. Yep. And then once he became the main, anytime somebody was coming at him,
Skip.
Yeah, he just became Skip, just a louder version of him, and
right.
just started doubling down and hurling insults. He'll just, how you come at me? And if anybody ever gets too close, he just starts listing his resume. I covered Allen Iverson, and then I did that, and I did that. So you can't tell me. So it's, man, yeah, that's easy targets if you ask me.
Right. Yep. The whole Kwame situation definitely screams mental health, and we need to bring that awareness. And that leads us to our next point. Naomi Osaka, she chose to not participate in the French Open and to not sacrifice her mental health for the questions these media reporters be asking. And just to put a stamp on it, they asked another young star. She's only 17, Coco. They asked, why do you think you get compared to Serena and Venus Williams all the time? Is it because you're black? I'm like, no, it's probably because she's good.
It's both.
You know what I'm saying? And so how you guys feel about Osaka saying that she's not going to take media questions from because she said that she was not going to take it before the tournament, but she'll do it after the tournament, or I mean after her matches or after the tournament, she'll take the question, but not before, because they just basically get her off her game, and they'll be asking stupid questions. They'll be like why your hair looks like that or something. Like they're also off the wall with it. What's your take on the CP?
I think they could have. I think the media definitely missed an opportunity to handle it differently, or the tournament in general. I don't know if she was as clear as she wanted to be when she first said it, and maybe that gave them the opportunity to kind of show their face. But once they showed their face and she pulled out, I think they realized that they got egg on their face now, because she's up there. She's the reason why you watch it. And if she's not going to do it, it should at least give you an opportunity to think about where your focus is. If you think that everybody is focused on your tournament because of the name, or focused on the sport, or everybody has bowed down because of it, you can be proven wrong. And I think it is here. And in this day and age where mental health is a concern, and I think you kind of got to recognize it's going to be a concern too. As much as players take care of their bodies now, taking care of their mind is part of it. And I think as a society, we might not be used to it. We're used to our athletes being tough, put on our hard hat and go to work. And, you know, and I don't subscribe to the you make millions so you can't complain type of thing. But I think that it's still a slow burn to catch up to that. It's easier if that athlete looks the part of what they're used to, but when they look different, even though we've had decades of Venus and Serena and all that stuff now, them speaking up for themselves hits a little different. And they're financially and stable in a place now where they can be like, I'll walk. You think you're gifting me this opportunity, but I'll walk. And she did. Right. I ain't mad at her.
I applaud her for that. Most definitely. Smash?
No, I think she's smart, man. She's, you know, a champion already. And it kind of goes back with Kwame as well. Like, and this is something that I ain't gonna get on my soapbox, but something I've been on too. Like both of these individuals, Kwame and Osaka, they were they've been in the spotlight since they're young. They've been playing these sports since they were young. Kwame out of high school, I think she got her first professional match around 13, 14, something like that. It's just a lot of pressure to be under that scrutiny as a child. I mean, you go back and think about your childhood and the pressures you had, it wasn't on that level. And now she's taking the time to say, look, I want to step back. I need to get myself straight before I continue going on this journey. And I think that's something that people just don't realize because she's been playing for a long time and she's been successful, that they just look at her as being, who she is. But she's at that point now. She's in her 20s. She's learning who she is and what she's trying to become. You got to take a step back, man. Mental health can affect your game in a big way. A lot of it is physical, but the mental part is a big thing. All y'all who have played golf, if your mental game ain't on, you're going to have a bad day out there. So mental health is a big thing in sports, and I applaud her for walking away. And I actually think a little bit more stars need to start doing that too. Just say, hey, I'm going to walk away because this ain't what it's about. I need to focus on me. Boom, bam, and it'd be over.
Especially weekly tournaments back to back to back. And it ain't like it's Chicago to Detroit to Boston. It's Paris to Australia to
in weeks and
right.
consecutive weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. GeauxDee.
Hey man, I think I'm the lone soldier here. When it comes to mental health, I'm all for her stance on mental health, but I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this mental health. I think it was a setup for her. Let's get some history going here. All right, when it comes to Naomi. Now we understand how the tennis world works. Like Gio talked about, their interviews aren't the norm interviews that you normally see after a game. They're asking all these outlandish, wild questions. And a lot of things, one thing that we know about Naomi is that she doesn't play well on clay. Okay. The last time she played on clay was in the French Open, and she lost. She didn't play in 2020 because of COVID. Coming back in, she played a lot of grass. She played a lot of hard surfaces. So leading up to this tournament, she played two clay matches, two clay tournaments, right? She was ranked second in Rome and bowed out in her first match. The second time she played in Madrid, I want to say, second seed, bowed out in the second round. So the match before that, she was a 10th seed and she bowed out. So we got to look at this not from just a mental health aspect. Now you got to remember, as of May 28, they came out and said that they're going into the pressers, going into the U.S. Open, the French Open, that they were saying that she was not going to take any media. But she never defined, was this going to just be for the pre-media or was it going to be tournament? So as of May 28, nothing was never said. It was never clarified. So she clarified that day up. Okay. So we're looking at, and she stated about how the media plays on her mental, right? She's only 23 years old. And it's a lot of great athletes are able to compartmentalize things outside of their sport, where I think she's starting to learn. She's got to learn how to do it. Serena came out and they pressed Serena for a statement on it. And like she said, it's you got to have that team with you, not only your physical team, but you got to have that mental health team to help you take you over the top. And this clay situation is a prime example of I think, yes, her. I don't want to diminish her mental health issues because she's been on record since 2018 that she's dealt with depression, dealt with social anxiety. So I'm acknowledging those things, but I also want people to acknowledge that when it comes to sports, that this is a big play, right? And which you're not detailing how this is supposed to play out as far as you not doing interviews, then that's part of the game. That's part of tennis. You know, you go sit down for the sports. You go sit down, do your presser, go to your next match. Go for everything that we do. But you got to think, I think the four majors were wrong? Yeah, the approach that they took were wrong. But you got to also understand that they got blindsided also. And I'm not trying to give them a pass, because how their approach is not what you say, is how you said it. And how they said it was totally wrong. You know, they should have took a step back and asked her, okay, so why are we doing this? And for me, this is more about her wanting to be in a shell, in a bubble, and trying to get over her angst on clay, because she's just not a good player. She's 19-16 on clay, right? And her majors, where did her majors win? Where she win her majors? She won all her majors on hard surfaces. So she's not a real good player. You know, if you play tennis and if you're playing on a soft surface or a natural surface, your feet give, your body's not balanced, but on a hard surface, you're kind of stable, and that ball doesn't bounce the same. And her results show this. So I think it's a little bit of all that, you know, all that in the play. I think with the way the world is turning right now, as far as social issues and her platform dealing with social issues, and compound this with her terrible play. I ain't gonna say terrible, but her inaccurate play on clay. I think it's a little bit of all of this that's compounded together. And when she thought she can get over with, okay, I'm gonna go in this bubble, I'm gonna focus on my game only, and that way I can just put blinders on and I can get over this clay hurdle. But you have to do the press. That's part of the job. Now, do I think they should have to do it? No. If you don't want to do presses, you don't have to do it. You know, but her social media, she has a big, huge following on her social media, over 2.3 million followers on Instagram. So she's making how much million? 50 plus million outside of sports, outside of her tennis. So I think it's a little bit of all this. And for me, I just want her to come out and speak on it a little more in depth. You know, I want her to tell me, is this tournament part of the reason why you didn't want to do pressers? Because go back, tournaments before, she's done pressers with no complaints. You know, but you can see issues that she had in 2019 when she did the win, when she lost in Wimbledon, and she stopped the press and she walked off the podium because she was tearing up. So social anxiety is a big issue for her. That's something that she's going to have to work on to be able to be in this sport, because you have to do social things, and that's just part of the business. She's fine when she does her own, when she controls the situation, but when it's time to sit down in front of pressers, that's when that anxiety kick up. And I understand that. But this, for me, it has a little bit to do with social issues, a little bit to do with mental issues, and a lot to do with her not being great on clay. And I think that was her play to try to navigate this tournament, to try to win this French Open, because this is the title that has been eluding her since she's been winning titles. So she's a great tennis player, but she's just not good on natural surfaces. And I just think that's a part that she just needs to acknowledge. I mean, you look at Ashley Barty, who's the number one player in the country right now, right?
I don't know why she is, though.
But she is. So, but at the same time, she took 2 years off because of the same situations. So you have to go back and think about it. It's not just about your physical health. It's also about your mental health. And she has to have that team around her to help her compartmentalize the outside noise, to be able to put blinders on and focus on being a champion on clay. And I think this clay situation is a big part of this, not just mental health. It's encompasses all of this to me.
Let me loosely connect two different situations and then ask a question. Mm-hmm. So would she be better off if she handled things like Kevin Durant? Because he's got social anxiety. You can tell. He's just in the internet, and he grew up in the internet age, and he handles things poorly, in my opinion. But I mean, winning is the best medicine, but still, he's been floundering to the point where he's even got to the highest of the mountaintops and realized that this wasn't the way he wanted it. Mm-hmm. And to the point where he creates, burner accounts to come back at people who are firing off at him, because there's still some unhappiness in there. Is that necessarily the right thing? And then my second question of that would be, is it time for athletes to, or time for the media to look at athletes differently and reshape what these pressers look like? Do they still need to be as hard hitting as they were? If they're open, in their own platforms, darn near 24/7, do we still need the intense presser with the hard hitting questions that only help the journalists get their stories written?
Right. I this is everything evolves. And being that we're stuck in this vacuum of information just flying left and right, there are other ways. If she has social anxiety, there's a way for them to put her in a room where she's comfortable, right? Put a camera in front of where and ask those questions. Tennis is just weird, man. If you watch tennis, that's one of my guilty pleasures. When you watch these pressers, they ask all kind of off the wall questions, and it's not like the normal what happened in that particular match. So I understand where she's coming from, but I understand the game plan that they had put in place and thought this game plan was going to work for her to get over this tennis hurdle. But just like anybody, you have to have somebody that you can bounce information off of. I don't think she has that person that she can go to, and then she can release this energy, release this tension that she has to be able to put herself in the mind frame to focus on a big hurdle, because this is a huge hurdle for this young lady that she can't win on clay, right? And so this is something that has to be looked at. This has something that has to be addressed. That how do we focus on mental health? And how do we cater to these athletes, but at the same time get what we need? Because these athletes, when they sign up, that's part of the deal. You doing interviews is part of the deal. Now, do I think they should have to? No, I don't agree that they should have to. But when you sign on that dotted line, that's part of the deal. So don't try to make it where I'm not doing it because I'm taking a stand. I think it's a little bit of that. Don't get me wrong. It's a little bit of that, taking a stand. But I also think it's a lot of her trying to get over this clay hurdle. And then I don't know. It just seems if you were doing it before, and then all of a sudden you get to the big term that has always eluded you, it just seems kind of fishy to me that now that you bowed out. Now, I do applaud her for bowing out. I do applaud her for that, because at the end of the day, your plan didn't work. Abort. It's time to go to plan B. And she would have been just a huge distraction. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, but what about while that is funny, I think that I'm glad she bowed out because the tournament committee was trying to act big and bad. And I applaud them. I applaud her for saying, even if I am playoff P on clay, you're not gonna play me like that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying that you applaud her for, I won't show up at all. But it's just the plan backfired. I just really do think the plan backfired, and I hope that she would come out. And she's very introspective. She's dating Cartier. He's, his music is very, introspective. So she's got a good head on her shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So she has her cause and she's doing the right things. But it's just something that's with this mental, in this society right now, the word mental health is a trigger, right? We all gotta be PC when we hear the word mental health. When we hear people talk about LGBTQ, that's a trigger that we all got to be PC when we hear those words. But I'm not here to bash her, but I'm just here as a sports fan, right? That I want to understand, as Clay has something to do with it? Even her sister in the article, I can't remember what article I read, there was a question where she said they asked her sister about it. And her sister said she just didn't want to face the questions about her being on clay. And I understand, because the tennis interviews are always wacky, and they're going to keep hounding on what pisses her off. And she doesn't want to get out of that mind frame of being focused. She doesn't want any doubt that she can't win on this surface. So it's a little bit of everything. And I hope that she'll come out and clarify this, because mental health is very important. Mental health is paramount for all of us. And I don't want you to use it as a scapegoat. I want you to use it as a platform to bring awareness like you did, but also acknowledge that, hey, this had something to do with my game, not just me just being out of whack mentally, be doing the social issues and sports, just in life in general. And that's my point of it all, though.
Right. Okay. Moving along, Brittany Griner She dunked in a WNBA game.
Oh Lord.
No 9 foot, 8 foot rims is needed.
Oh
She
Lord.
dunked
Here
in
we
the game.
go. Here we go. You're not gonna let this dog lie, huh? You're not gonna let this dog lie. You're gonna keep bringing this back up, right? That's fine. You know what? I'm done. I'm taking me a mental health break. I'm tired of this.
Hey, I say that to say this. We didn't cover this the last time we was on, but a coach, I forgot what team the coach played for, but the coach got fined and suspended for saying Liz from the Aces was 300 pounds, and what he was doing was trying to get a call to go his team way, saying that she's 300 pounds. Saying you gotta give us some leeway, ref, and everybody in the WNBA in the community took it as body shaming, and I was naive to the fact because I look at them as athletes. Saying and at one point, like, so you don't want us to lower the rim, or you don't want us to disrespect you or disrespect the game like that. So we'll put you on the same tier as athlete. And then when someone made a comment like that, like if we said that comment about Shaq, it would have been no issue. If we said that comment about another big in the league, it wouldn't be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because we think of you as athletes and conditioning. But now since you're a woman, it's body shaming. And also they broke it down. Shout out to Disney, The Big Shot. They broke it. They broke the same situation down on that show too. When the coach said you need to lose 5 pounds, and the girl was like, "You embarrassed me in front of the whole team." He's like, "No." He's like, "Every time in the fourth quarter, you're gassed, so you need to be in better condition."
Right.
Yeah, I suppose I'm on the ladies' side on this one, but
you had to think about it.
I didn't have a good word to say.
Like,
he's like, I don't want to get killed at home. I got you, CP.
No.
His wife looking over his shoulder, right? That's why he keeps looking left.
Nah, my wife's asleep. The game is to the left. But I'll say this. I think that we're quick to make those counter arguments about, well, you said that, everybody equal and all that stuff. But, I'm a coach. GeauxDee, I know you're a coach, and we've all had some type of experiences. And even little things like, yeah, everybody's the same. But if you have a girl on a team, you're not going to pat her on the butt like you're going to pat everybody else. Even though they're all athletes, even though you're not hating on their ability or anything like that. It's just, I think it's okay to recognize time and place, and you got to read the room a little bit. You can't specifically say the exact same things that you'd say to Shaq as you would for a tall center in the league. I think that while she might have ran with this one, I think it is a calling to remember to kind of be aware of your time and place and make sure that, you are paying attention to some of the differences while still respecting them as athletes. I think there's room for both. I don't necessarily.
So you think it was more being disrespectful to a woman, or it was more being disrespectful to an athlete? Because they're two different things. That's two. When they walk in that arena, they are deemed athletes. We're not looking at gender at that point, right?
It's still a woman. Like, you can't turn something.
That's what I'm asking.
It's just
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think it was disrespectful to her as a woman. As an athlete,
all right.
I think the argument to the ref was within fair territory. I'll say that. But because she's still a woman. Like, even though she's on the court or on the field, like, even if it's the lingerie football league, like, you still can't just wild out.
That's different. That's different.
I'm just saying. At the end of the day,
they want all that smoke. That's why they play.
Yeah, they might. But what my point is, like, as a woman, I think that she had a right to feel some type of way. As an athlete, I think him doing what he was doing was fair game. He just probably needed to read the room because they are still women. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you, again, we talked about signing up. This is not like, oh, I came out here to coach. I thought I was about to coach the Las Vegas Raiders, and they gave me the Aces. These are women. What am I gonna do with that? I'm a man. Nah, he knew what
There's
the
no
game
crying in
was.
baseball.
Listen,
Yeah.
I've coached men and I've coached boys and I've coached girls. And one thing that you have to understand about the two, they're both of them are ultra competitive. They both want to win. But one thing that is different, they don't turn off the emotions. The emotions are still there. They still are women. They still are girls. And while that emotion, anything can trigger those emotions, and anything can bubble those emotions up. Like I think she went too far. Like, she's one of my favorite players in the league, but I think she went too far with it. I think acknowledge that it was said, acknowledge that it was done, that it was wrong. I felt bad about it, but taking it to the 13th degree, I think she should have just, let's learn from this lesson. Like you saying, learn how to read the room, bring some awareness to how you should treat other women in sports. And it just seems like you can't have both ways. You just can't have it. You want to be.
She's asking for both, though.
She's not asking for both. But most people, most women athletes, or whatever the spectrum is, whether it's military, whether it's sports, whether it's whatever industry they're in, they want to be equal. When something like that happens, to not be to belittle you, you think it's being belittling you, but that's par for the course. But I do agree with you that there should be some temperament on how you talk to these ladies, because they are emotional, and that's just part of their DNA. That's just who they are. That's how they operate. And we just have to be able to navigate around that, to be able to still put that competitive nature, because what he was doing. He was trying to get under her skin. He was trying to get the refs on his side. He was trying to get a call.
He probably needed to say something along the lines of like, she knocking her over, she's something like that. But
right. But specifically her weight. Yeah, I agree with that.
And to be honest, we're giving, I don't know if we're not giving him enough credit or giving him too much credit. But I guarantee you, when he said it, he was probably like, "Uh-oh,
right."
I don't think he did. Me too, Smash. I just think he was in the heat of the moment, and it came out. That's what it came out to be. I'm trying to get a competitive edge, and it's just got all overblown. But again, you just have to read the room.
I think it all goes in the same sensitivity training packet as some of these bosses that we deal with when they when they have issues with people that look like us in the workplace. Right. You can't say everything that works, with all your friends.
Right.
Right. Smash, you got any takes on it?
No, I think in sports it's just got to be out the door, man. I mean, if you gas, you gas. I mean, that's just if you need to get in shape, you got to get in shape. But I mean, like, I agree with GeauxDee. I think he was just using it to get under their skin in the heat of the moment. You're going to say whatever you got to say to, try to get the calls on your side. So I just think it probably was blown out of proportion, if you want to say.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't want to leave this dunk situation now. We can just segue. You try to play. Let's talk about this dunk situation here.
Yeah, we good. That's for another day.
Oh,
that's for another day.
Okay. I thought so. Y'all didn't want this smoke today. Okay.
You didn't want that smoke from Brittany.
Lower that day. Man, listen, she'd have had quadruple that amount of dunks they put it at 9 feet. She only got 13 in action now. Let's not act like she's just around here just shacking people.
They lowered to 9 feet. She's gonna be getting fouled every other minute, and she's gonna be like Shaq at the free throw line.
That's what I'm here for.
Then you're gonna talk about move the line closer so she can make it.
Let her grandma shot. Let her grandma shot that.
There are rules. Again, we'll get back to it. I don't want to get to that. We'll be here all night with that one. But you know how I feel about that.
All right. Our next topic. They finally letting fans in the arenas.
They losing their mind.
Yes, they're going crazy. These mask mandates are. It could have definitely stopped one situation if they had a mask mandate in New York. But there's a fan that threw popcorn at Russell Westbrook. Another fan threw a water bottle at Kyrie. Somebody spit on Trae Young. Just last night, somebody jumped on I guess he ran on the court to shoot the free throws for Ben Simmons because he can't hit free throws.
But here's the question. Here's the question, man. I mean, Jill, what did these people look like?
Oh,
what did all of them look like?
Yeah, we know.
All right, and so that's you let continue on, but I'm gonna step over it. But sometimes we're in this society right now. I hate to bring it away from sports, but we're in a point of society right now where they feel like they have the right to do this foolishness. It's the norm on the court, off the court, right? At the
Capitol
bar,
Hill,
at the grocery store, Capitol Hill. They think this is cool. They think they can do this kind of stuff, and it's not cool. And these fans need to they just need to go ahead and let the Malice in the Palace happen again, and it'll cease to exist, right? Yeah. Don't hold him back. Let him go kick his behind one good time, and trust me, them fans will stop all that foolishness because they know it's just like that guy in the neighborhood. Always talking all the noise all the time, and then when the fight break out, he looking for somebody to hold me back. And that's what these fans are looking for. They want to talk to you, belittle you, and all this kind of stuff. The quote that you put on Ballas Union Union Facebook.
Check that out, Vernon Maxwell.
Vernon Maxwell summed it up real fast. When I come in that stands and kick your ass, then I'm gonna sleep well. I'm gonna sleep well that night because you asked for it. I'm gonna give you what you asked for. And that's just what the guys have come down to.
I think some people are secretly wanting to do that. I think they'll take the L so they can turn around and inflict some type of legal pain on somebody.
Well, guess what? That'd be the best $100,000 spent. That'd be the best $100,000 spent. You're not gonna sit around here and disrespect me in my workplace. You know what I'm saying? This is a place of enjoyment, a place of entertainment, a refuge you get away from the norms of society. And here you are bringing that stuff into other people's enjoyment, man. Heck with that, man.
Yeah. I think tensions are high, and you already know these people. They think they own America. Bottom line,
exactly.
And it's not just in basketball. It's also in so I work at the shipyard, and I'll tell you. So the shipyards let go of the mask mandate, and they let it and bring it back. All their office workers and all the shipyard workers are all coming back to the shipyard. All the people coming back to work. And when I tell you there was an incident like, hey, call 911, and all this commotion, you turn around and look, a supervisor slapped his employee. Like, what gave you the right or the audacity to slap somebody? You know what I'm saying?
So who you slapped?
No, I didn't slap nobody. And nobody slapped me either because I wouldn't be here right now because I would have been locked up.
That's what I was about to ask. What happened when you got slapped? That's what I was about to ask.
I feel like slapping somebody today.
But that's the point that I'm making. The way this world is set up right now, they really think that they have a pass on all this stuff, man. And it's gonna take a tragic situation. They're gonna bulk up that wrong tree, that Karen or that Ken, gonna bulk up that wrong, like somebody like that, right? Who has that hidden passion, that hidden anger, and it just be you at the stoplight blowing a horn at somebody. You just don't know where people's heads are for you to do this type of stuff. But society has deemed that they have a pass. They get a pass for this kind of stuff. So that's why we keep seeing this mess. But it has to stop. Somebody should punch their lights out, and it'll stop.
Right. All right. Yep, we're getting up. Before we close out, let's state that all Boston Celtics fans need mental therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because you're offended by some cartoon character, you know what I'm saying, overweight looking leprechaun named Lucky. You know what? You heard it here first. Fuck Lucky.
Damn.
Lucky was unlucky with Kyrie Irving stumping on his face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I wasn't gonna say all that, but I will say, are we surprised that people upset over a mascot are the same people that were upset about somebody not standing for a flag?
Yeah. Oh, I'm interested.
We all about symbols, and as soon as you don't love somebody else's symbol the way that you love it, you ready to fight, and that's insecurity.
Right. Well,
a little bit of both, bro. I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, it's a little disrespectful. I get the disrespect. Now, when we were looking at it online, it's like way below. Like y'all in a whole nother stratosphere with this Lucky stuff. It's like, get a grip, dude. It's a mascot. It's a floor. You know what I'm saying? It's an inanimate object. It's not real.
It's make believe.
It's make believe. So
yeah, it's like we told them Santa Claus. Like I killed Santa Claus. Santa Claus didn't exist. I can't kill something that didn't exist.
And real kids. No.
And Larry Bird stepped out of bounds. So.
But that comes that privilege. That privilege comes into play again. But at the same time, because I know with me loving my sports team, if somebody were to step on a logo, yeah, I might be like, that's a SOB move. But that's as far as it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? But we see and we're watching bottles being thrown out of stands, all this kind of stuff. People take their passion way above passion into almost insanity.
That is disrespect, though. I mean, just like I loved it when T.O. did the star move.
We all love that. The world loved that one, Smash.
Yeah.
It was disrespect, though. But like, it's the same way. Like growing up, I know, like if we were getting our butts trampled in football or whatever sport, we were like, all right, y'all better be careful with all that celebrating y'all doing while it's our home. It's our home game. We might be losing, but we're gonna win the fight, you know. So I mean, your emotions get caught up.
Hey, if you don't want to do all that celebration, play better defense.
There it is.
Well, you can't. You can't because the game is fixed. You can't play better defense when it's rigged. It's set up that way.
That's another story.
It is another story.
I'm trying to play catch up, damn it.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're in our final 2 minutes. I'm back. Smash, you got any false facts for us?
Man, I didn't even have none really until somebody just threw me a lifeboat and put out Tim Tebow is gonna be wearing Aaron Hernandez's jersey. Now, to be a Christian loving man and you're wearing a murderer's jersey.
Alleged murderer.
He got convicted for it.
He was on the appeal.
But
I got to represent for my countrymen.
That's why I'm laughing.
That's to me, that's a false fact. I know it was like Romans 5:8 where God said, he loves all sinners, but I don't know about that one, man. So I don't know how Tim Tebow gonna spend that one, but we'll see.
He's doing what Jesus would do.
They outraged over stumping on Lucky, but he can wear a murderer's number.
Only thing I saw out of that whole picture was that he's letting us know that they're getting ready to do some cheating because that whole time when Aaron Hernandez was at Florida, they were cheating. So I'm just saying, that's all I saw out of that whole picture.
Says the Florida State fan.
Wow.
Watch Jacksonville be in the playoffs this year with a 2-16 record.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. And then GeauxDee, we know you ain't buying
the first play-in game. I'm sorry.
A play-in game.
Just NBA doing it. Why not?
Is he a Hall of Famer, Smash?
He will be.
He will be this year. One season, boy. One season. That first catch from Lawrence.
You just turn off ESPN once Tebow get his first touchdown. They're gonna cream over this for about a week.
Oh God, that's
don't watch.
horrible.
For a week, it's gonna be a whole month. It's gonna win an SP and everything.
I mean, they're gonna intertwine that touchdown in golf. They're gonna intertwine that touchdown in baseball, football, tennis. It's gonna be a mess, a hot mess.
Right.
They're gonna ask Naomi Osaka at her press conference. What do you think of Tim Tebow catching that pass from Trevor Lawrence?
Now, if she's smart, then she'll really take a mental health break. I know I will.
Oh man.
My bad.
Hey, CP, you got any closing thoughts?
Of course I do. Of course I do. First things first. By the time everybody is listening to this, we will know if the Junior Mets are the champions or the runner-up. The championship game is tomorrow. We just had our last practice tonight. We are ready. We are focused. My son looks good, and all the coaches are nervous. So we're gonna see. We feel good, but it's a tough team, and we're gonna see what happens.
Let's go.
Hey, good luck to your Mets. But remember, Tim Tebow played for the Mets too.
Now he played for the affiliate.
He
did not make
he did not make the big squad. Let's
He
get
did
that
not make the
understood.
Good luck to y'all, man.
Thank you. Now, I don't know if you all have been paying attention, but the North Carolina A&T State University men's and women's track team are yet again blowing everybody in smoke. We are making a name for ourselves yet again, even if you don't like us, like the fact that we're in HBCU and we are beating all the schools that people say that we can't beat. So one time for Aggie Pride. And
what's that kid's name? Harding? That kid's a beast.
Yes. It's a movement, man. Like, we've always been decent at track, but like, we're on some other stuff now.
Okay.
Like we're on some other stuff, and if you find an Aggie that's not excited about it, then they're not a real Aggie. So,
I mean, just being having black pride in general. Put the colors and logos aside. You know, it's a feat that we're watching. We're watching something that we hadn't seen before. So it's great, man. It's great, and I think that's what they're scared of. They're scared that we're gonna take what's ours back anyway. You know.
Now, how are they gonna be better at us at running?
Right. Well, I'm gonna close this out with a quick story.
Oh, so you gonna skip me, right?
No, you already talked about your
Oh, okay.
Your
the takeout box. The takeout box.
Right.
Look at him.
You know, so Smash, ever since he's been retired, he's been on a row. And I don't know if you guys can see this picture, but hopefully you can see this picture, or I'll edit and make sure everybody can see this picture. So I've been in and out on the road, like I'm on the road on the week, back home on the weekend. Smash like, hey, let's go pass through this stadium real quick. And this is when, and then he filled up this gas can. I'm thinking he filled up the gas can because he was scared there was going to be another drought. But this dude literally tried to burn down the stadium. He needs help, man.
So,
hey,
you tried to burn the big takeout box.
They trying to get rid of Julio, man.
Man, listen.
Hilarious.
Listen, Julio, as much as Fulio, let me get it right. Fulio, as much as a great athlete he is, it's time to move on from it. It's time. It's time to go. And get what you can get for him, because he's over 30. And so if you can get to a second and third round pick, you grab that and you run with it, and you get that money off your books.
I don't know. I say get rid of Matt Ryan, but you know.
Then who gonna throw the ball?
It don't
Justin
matter.
Fields.
Matt Stafford.
Watch Detroit have success this year because they got rid of Stafford.
Look at CP. he said, I ain't buying into that foolishness.
Look, I looked at the schedule and I said, there's 5 wins here. I just don't know which ones they are. Usually I can point them out and be like, okay, yeah. Like, even I can't remember what year it was. It was a couple years ago, but I looked at it and in my hometown group, I said, hey, y'all, we're going to go 3-13. They was like, sure is. And we all sat there and was like, yep. Nope. Yep.
Dang.
Nope. But now we're going to get 5. And my coworker was like, y'all got 5 last year. I was like, yeah, but this time there's another game. We still going to get 5.
Right.
So, he's like, well, which ones y'all going to win? And I said, now that I am unsure. I need to see a preseason game, see what golf looking like, see what the rest of these randoms are looking like. But it's only 5 out there.
Okay. And on that, guys, we're out.
Peace.